Thanks for staying with us. Now, there is a growing race for Africa's attention and economic relations by the world superpowers, especially from the trio of China, Russia, and the United States. The recent visits by United States Kamala Harris to Africa, with her first stop being Ghana, and the planned visit by Russia's Vladimir Putin, have raised eyebrows among Africans, leaving them to question if these recent visits mean well for the continent. News Central's Adesewa reports.
The African continent has now transformed into a global diplomatic theater. World superpowers like the United States, Russia, and China are vying for attention and influence in the continent, accompanied by a flurry of visits by world leaders to Africa. Russia's President Vladimir Putin hosted the first ever Russia-Africa summit, seeking to restore his nation's influence in the region that faded after the collapse of the Soviet Union. China is also seen to be showing the greatest interest of all in Africa, aiming to better connect its Belt and Road Initiative increasingly with the continent's development. It has grown its trade with the continent to $170 billion, with around 40 African countries signed onto the initiative.
There's nothing wrong in doing business with the US. There's nothing wrong in doing things with the superpowers, whether it's China, whether it's all of them. But the thing is, our managers, our leaders, are they clear on what they want for us? It's not enough to just sign some of these things off, and at the end of the day, we do not get the optimal benefit that we ought to get from all the deals. So what I will advise is whatever we're doing, we should do it knowing deliberately, being conscious and strategic in what we do and engage our economics.
The United States is deepening its engagement with the African continent with visits by its top officials, part of which is the visit by the Vice President Kamala Harris's 9-day trip to Ghana, Tanzania, and Zambia. Also, the U.S. First Lady Jill Biden was also in Africa in February, where she visited Namibia and Kenya, following the December U.S.-Africa summit in Washington, where President Joe Biden says the U.S. was all in on Africa's future.
And today, I'm also calling for the African Union to join the G20 as a permanent member of the G20.
Africa is currently the fastest growing continent in the world. Africa is the future of the world. And Africa will be the world will actually rely on Africa in years to come.
If we look at history, it doesn't look like all of these agreements have paid us sufficiently enough as it ought to over the years. And so my advice will be, whatever we're doing, whatever agreement we're going into, we must go into it knowing, understanding the benefit that would come out of it, and be sure that our people or Africa gets the best of the deal at the end of the day.
While different African countries are building diverse relationships with these countries in the face of the growing competitions among the global powers, African leaders are urged to build strong negotiations to improve trade and social intercourse within the continent. Adesewa reporting for News Central.